Well, I've tried my best. I've changed. I've done what I could to make it work. But sometimes you just gotta burn everything to the ground and start over. So we're starting over. You guys may be familiar if you watch some of my older videos or you've seen any of my videos that I have a whiskey and cigar lounge upstairs. It's one of the areas I shoot in quite often. And I built that room out as a whiskey cigar room probably, I don't know, I guess it's been probably at least 3 years now ago. I've had to go through several versions of the room since then. The original layout, I had 4 chairs and kind of a table in the middle. And while that was beautiful and it looked great and it was great for sitting around with some guys and having some whiskey and cigars, it wasn't super functional for a shooting space, which is what I use it for the majority of the time. Then went through version 2 where I kind of moved all that stuff and I put a couch against the wall to give me kind of more room for camera equipment, whatnot. And that worked for a while. But the main thing that was the impetus, is that a word? Impetus? Al? Impetus, is that a word? Yeah, Google says it's a word. Anyway, the thing that made me say, hey, I've just got to burn this thing to the ground, strip it down to the studs and restart is whiskey. As I've collected whiskey for longer in years and years, and I've done more videos on it, the collection grew well past the storage space I had up there, and everything just turned into a dumpster fire. There's bottles stacked up in closets, there's bottles stacked up on the floor, and while in these videos, when I'm shooting in the background, everything looks pretty neat. If you saw off camera, it looks like a whiskey storage facility. We're doing a complete renovation of the whiskey room. Tearing out the walls, we're tearing out the floor, we're tearing out everything, and we're starting from scratch. And this is the perfect time for me to interrupt and say thanks to the sponsor of today's video, Native. With summer right around the corner, 100+ degree days and humidity so thick you need a snorkel to go outside. I've spoken about Native on the channel numerous times, but if you're new around here, Native is my favorite brand of deodorant. It's made with simple ingredients like coconut oil and shea butter. It's also free of aluminum, parabens, and it's vegan and cruelty-free. One of the things I liked most about Native when I first used it was the fact that it went on nice and smooth. Some of my favorite scents are these guys right here. This one is citrus herbal musk, really nice, kind of citrusy, fresh charcoal, which smells nothing like charcoal. It's actually kind of, I would call it like a masculine leaning, fresher kind of smell. Eucalyptus mint. This is probably like the most clean and fresh smell out of all of them, but all really good, and they're some of my favorites. They offer 100% plastic-free packaging. They also partner up with 1% for the Planet and commit 1% of plastic-free deodorant sales to environmental nonprofits. Check out the folks at Native at the link I will post down below, and make sure to use my code SIRES3 to get 20% off your first purchase. This is a site-wide coupon, but it is for a limited time, so make sure you stock up. Big thanks to the folks at Native for sponsoring this video and supporting the channel. All right, back to your regularly scheduled programming. All right, so let's take a quick little tour that is the clusterfuck of my cigar room that at one point was really very organized and beautiful. And over the past several years since this has been a room, we filmed in it more, I've gotten more whiskey, I've gotten more stuff, and it's just become a clusterfuck. See how thin that is? That is the backdrop when we shoot. But we had to make it thin because the room isn't that deep. So this is not normally in here, which is why it's got folding legs. This goes away, but still. If you remember at first, I had the 4 chairs here. When filming, that was a total nightmare, which is why I went to the one couch along this wall kind of situation. I can shoot that angle, or I can shoot that angle and bring the table in here. That part is pretty good, except for the fact that you can tell this is the table that normally goes in front of this couch, and we have to move it over here because when all the cameras and stuff are in here and the lights up here, complete cluster. This situation is an absolute mess. There's bottles on the floor. This is an overflow closet with more whiskey, more whiskey, more whiskey. Basically, there is whiskey everywhere. So what we're gonna do is this whole wall is gonna become a whiskey wall. So this is 12 foot and a couple inches. Right now, less than half of it is whiskey shelving. They're running cabinetry along the bottom here with the countertop, and then we're doing built-in shelving along the whole top here so that we have storage for way more whiskey, and then the cabinets down below are also going to be overflow storage. So should be way better. We got to move all the whiskey, all the everything. I got to pull the floors up because we're putting new floors in because they're ripping out. It's the whole thing. So let's get it cleaned up. That's some old stuff. I don't even think they make this pipe tobacco anymore. All right, the end of day 1 construction. We're really more in the demolition phase at this point. Get back as far as I can here. So this is where we got day 1. They got the whole closet area ripped out. The room feels bigger already. It's glorious. They have rough patched it back in with drywall. And then of course you wouldn't have a construction project if you didn't run into a hiccup. Right here in this wall that used to be the outside wall of the closet, there was a vent pipe running through that wall and up there. So we had to cut out a section of the floor and then reroute the vent pipe. You never know until you open up the walls what you're going to find, and it only took a couple hours to get it fixed, so no biggie. But yeah, room is already feeling bigger. First day, closet is out. All right, folks, you're gonna have to forgive the lighting and the sound in this part of the video. This room's under construction, so the audio and lighting is not gonna be as good as normal. We obviously have gotten to the next stage. The guys have had 2 more days. We've got the new flooring down, and they've got the majority of the shelving built in done. And still got some cabinet doors to put on and stuff like that. But I don't want to show you the whole thing because I want it to be a surprise. This is like 12, this is a lot of storage for whiskey. It's gonna be fantastic. I'm really excited. It doesn't look as big, but if I step back, can you kind of see the scale a little better from back here? This is a big shelf. From up here, when I'm standing close to the camera, it doesn't look like a huge shelf really. Not so much here.
Not here or here so much, but right here.
Right here. The guys are coming back tomorrow, and on these, I'm gonna run LEDs like I had on my old one, so they pre-drilled some holes for me so that we can run LEDs on all the shelves. And fortunate thing is, if you look over here, there's these little facial boards that aren't nailed down yet. Can you see this little, got about 1.5 inch gap right here, which is the perfect spot for me to run my LEDs out these holes and down to my power source, which is in this cabinet, and have all the wires hidden. Tomorrow when the guys get here, they need to nail those on to make them permanent to finish in some of the trim and stuff. But right now, while it's open, I want to get my wires run. So tonight, we're gonna run these real quick. The first step, you see that little, it's a little U-shaped channel, a little U-shaped aluminum channel that has these little diffusers that you put your LED strip down in here, then this little diffuser snaps on, and not only does the channel hide from the side, so you don't see the lights from the side, which kind of always annoyed me, but it also diffuses the light a little bit and makes the light a little more even because LEDs can be a little spotty sometimes. So the first step is we gotta mount all those guys. I'm putting all mine in the back corners or in the back edge because I put my whiskey bottles in front and then it like back underlights the bottles, which I think looks nice. Run those along all these shelves and get them all ready so that way then I can go back and run my lights. We'll get into the lights later. Well, all the aluminum tracks are up. I put them on with double-sided tape. They come with these little mounts, but I started to use those, and then I remembered that last time I did this, I used double-sided tape because if you use double-sided tape, You can take it off. Might be a little bit of a pain in the ass to get the sticky stuff off, but you can get it off. If you use the mounts, you have to put little screw holes where the mounts. And then if you ever wanted to remove them, you're gonna have little holes there you're gonna have to fill. The old ones were held up with double-sided tape. They were there for years, they never moved. So that's what I went with. Now the lights I'm using this time are these guys. You read that? The Armacost Ribbon Flex Pro. Bright white LED tape lights. These are 4000K and there's 120 LEDs per meter. I got the 120 LEDs per meter. They have them in 120, 60, and one even lower than 60. I'd rather have as bright as possible, then I'm gonna put them on a dimmer and dim them down if they're too bright, then have some that aren't bright enough, and then you're screwed. You just can't get them any brighter. So I got the brightest ones they had. So these are 120 LEDs per meter. These should be pretty bright. I also got the Armacost transformers, dimmer switches, rotary knob, dimmer switch, because I did the LED smart lights, the LifeX. I did all the smart things before, and let me tell you what I found that after years just using smart stuff. Fuck all the smart stuff. All the smart lights can kiss my ass, okay? They're annoying. Yeah, it's cool to be able to say something and they come on, but God forbid your Wi-Fi goes out, or the app's not up to date, or something, and then all of a sudden you can't control them. I'm going back old school. It's got a switch. Click that, do that. As long as they've got power, on. Dim them. You know what I mean? Going old school, regular old dimmer, done. Quick side note, if you ever need wire strippers, right here. You ever seen these things? So you got like a double, like a coated double. There's two wires in here. What? What? That easy? Are you shitting me, Smalls? All the years I've done that with just like a regular knife, and then sometimes cut into the wire and screwed the pooch. Oh, and then it gets better. Hold on. From here, without any kind of adjustment, any looking for the right size. What? Peels those guys off too. I mean, what? Why has nobody ever told me about these things? It's just, there's no adjustment. It just strips everything. Best thing since sliced bread. Never a bad thing to test as you go. All right, time to test everything. Let's just hope it all works, because bottom row, check. Second row, check. Top row. Can I get a hallelujah? Man, I hate doing electric work. All right, folks. Oh, hold on. Don't want y'all seeing that. That's not ready for y'all yet. We finished up the wiring and we ended, because it was honestly, it was 2:30 in the morning by the time I got finished with that electrical stuff, and well, I was ready to go to bed. It's been a couple more days and we've gotten a lot more done. I'm gonna give you guys that was all you get. That was it. You just get a little peek. A little peek. All right, folks. Well, that is where we're gonna end this one today. But we still do have a few little touch-up things, some painting stuff to do. So we'll do the actual reveal in the next video. I'm already filming it now, so it'll be probably like next Sunday, I would imagine. So you don't have to wait long, but this will be a to be continued ... But I want to finish this one out, do the drawing winner from last week's giveaway, and then do a new drawing real quick. As always, we'll use random comment picker and go. Winner this week is Smokin' Oak. It's a killer name, brother. Smokin' Oak says, love what you were doing with the truck. Can't wait to see more. And he was commenting on last week where we did the truck EDC part 1 build. Got many parts of that coming. But Smokin' Oak, Appreciate you, my brother. Thank you for being a subscriber. Thank you for commenting and liking the video. And we will be sending you, last week was hashtag Visky Whiskey. So last week we were giving away a Visky whiskey glass, one of my new ones. We will get one of those out to you. I'll actually reply to your comment down below and ask you to send us an email so we can get your information. This is a good point to bring it up as always. Didn't see any scammers in this week's email, but just in case, keep an eye out. It's only if you hear me announce your name in a giveaway did you win something. If you didn't hear me announce it in a video, don't fall for it. There's lots of these scammers out here with all this telegraph bullshit, so don't fall for that stuff. All right, for this week's giveaway, since this is the whiskey and cigar room remodel, last week we did a Visky for the whiskey part. This week, let's give away a cigar accessory. We'll give away another one of the glass trays, which is my version of the glass cigar ashtray. Very nice, very cool stuff. I'll link them down below if you're interested. Rules are, as always, you've got to be a subscriber to both of my channels. So you have to subscribe to this channel and go subscribe to Jeremy Sider's After Hours, my other channel where I do most of my cigar content. And we'll be doing some pew-pew content very soon. So definitely go check that channel out and subscribe. You have to like the video, and then down below, leave a comment, hashtag Whiskey Room Reno, hashtag Glass Tray. And then we will draw a winner live in the next upload. Hope you guys did enjoy the first part of this little renovation we're doing. I know I'm being a bit of a tease, not showing you guys the finished product, but we got a little more work to do. We'll get the rest of this work done, and next week, we'll post the finished product. All right, folks, if you did enjoy this one, feel free to smash that like button. That always helps us out. If you're not a subscriber, please consider doing so. We'd love to have you on board. I hope everyone is having a fantastic week, and we will see you in the next video.